going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the No Mercy universe here in WWE 2K19. And on the last episode, obviously, we just kept setting up for SummerSlam, and we are on the Go Home show to SummerSlam. Well, the Go Home for No Mercy, we'll have a Go Home for Velocity as well, obviously. This show will have the final two first-round matches in the Women's TV title tournament. We will have one match, the second-round match, at SummerSlam. But yeah, so, and of course, if you didn't watch the last episode but you're watching this one, we have 4 women who are not competing for the No Mercy Women's World title at SummerSlam. They are in the first round of this TV title tournament, as well as 4 women who have been invited to the show. If a woman who's invited wins, they earn a contract. Though, in the two first-round matches, the women who invited lost, not earning a contract. At least not right now, anyway. But the first matchup is No Mercy's Nikki Bella teaming up with the invited Charlotte, or not teaming up, facing the invited Charlotte Flair in another round 1 match. Next match is a fatal 4-way match, which we will not watch, but it's another 4-way match, and that's Adam Cole, Andrade Cien Almas, Finn Balor, and Ricochet all taking on one another. And this match is really just a way to have the 4 people on the show who are completely winless. They've all been constantly defeated. The winner of this match will get their first win. The next Women's TV title tournament match is No Mercy's Carmella taking on Natalya. And then we have a rematch, a tag team rematch from the Go Home No Mercy 2 Money in the Bank last month. And that is Baron Corbin teaming up with Shinsuke Nakamura against John Cena and the champion Daniel Bryan. Though at the time, Bryan wasn't the champion. As we know, he won it at Money in the Bank. And the idea here is just with how good the 4-way was between Cena, Corbin, Black, and Nakamura, the final 3 here went for a long time, put on a really good match. Any man could have won coming out of there. So we'll get a rematch of the tag match here, see what can happen there. So yeah, we'll see what can happen there. If we look at the news, as we know, Shinsuke, he is still competing, though he does have a minor injury. So hopefully that doesn't worsen. But he has been given the go-ahead to compete here tonight. And on top of that, we will look at these, because they have updated now. Bryan's still our only World Heavyweight Champion. He's now held it for 26 days. And Cedric is our second European Champion, and has now held it equally as long as Baron Corbin. But not defending the title until SummerSlam, he will, of course, become the longest reigning European Champion. So that is good for Cedric. Will he keep it after SummerSlam? We'll have to wait and see, because we know he's facing AJ Styles at the event. And I gotta say, I've really been enjoying this series being back. Because, I've had ideas for a long time, constantly, about bringing back the original universe, and maybe bringing back, the realistic universe Tyson and I had in this game. I've had a lot of ideas like that, and I'm still tossing around ideas like that, but I've never actually pulled the trigger on any of them, basically. But this series being back, I'm having a really good time with it. I really enjoy that it's back. I'm having a good time recording. I'm going to record this, Velocity, and then SummerSlam. And then I'll probably take a little bit of a break while I start editing all the episodes and get them out. And hopefully, as I finish up all the episodes, maybe I can schedule them and then get to recording even more, recording the next month. Which I can confirm, I've already figured out what pay-per-view we're going to be doing in September for this series, and that is Payback. As before the server shut down, I actually did, in fact, download a Payback arena. So that'll be pretty cool. I like the idea of having a Backlash type event coming out of a Big 4 pay-per-view. I do like that. So Backlash coming out of WrestleMania, and then Payback coming out of SummerSlam, I think is pretty cool. We'll do that, and I probably won't do... Wait, what's the pay-per-view for October in this game by default? I don't know. Is it... Honestly, I don't know. I really, really don't know. Because if I remember right, no, Evolution wouldn't have made it in this game, because Evolution was in 2018. So the game would have come out, I think, before Evolution was the pay-per-view. Because this game also came out before the man. Or came out technically just after Becky started the man gimmick. So yeah. I don't know, I have to look at that. I was just playing around with that, but I didn't really pay attention to the show that's in October. But regardless, that's Charlotte and Nikki kicking off the show. TV title tournament match. Nikki immediately gets the first shot before they lock up, and Nikki shoves Charlotte back into the corner. Referee's going to get in there and separate them. Is something going to happen? No, we get a clean break from both Charlotte and Nikki. But Nikki gets the upper hand after they lock up again. Wrenching on the arm, taking her down. And Nikki just straight up gets the upper hand, technically, against Charlotte Flair. But Charlotte with the upper hand drops down and pulls her up. But Nikki slips out the back door, shoves her away. But Charlotte able to take her down by the arm there as they lock up again. And Nikki gonna back Charlotte against the ropes this time. Nikki looking really good here. But referee gonna back him up, and we get another clean break. But Nikki with a knife edge chop, saying woo to Charlotte, but Charlotte float over, DDT spiking Nikki's head into the canvas, and with her neck troubles, that's never a good sign, and neither will this, with Charlotte shouting at her daddy Ric Flair with the running knee. But now slow it down. Slow it down. Wrenching on the neck is Charlotte Flair. Trying to really keep that advantage here. But Nikki going to come back with a jawbreaker. Oh, the forearm got blocked. And just like that, Charlotte got Nikki up. But oh, Nikki able to turn it around into a sunset flip. Got a 1, but only a 1. And barely a 1 at that. But Nikki not wasting any time, keeping the advantage. Now, Irish whip, Charlotte off the ropes, leapfrog, duck underneath, and got the forearm that time. As she rebounded off the ropes, forearm connected wonderfully. Now look at this, elbows right to the spine. Now doing some push-ups as well. Just showing off a little bit, showing a little disrespect. We know Nikki is got plenty of that. The fans may love her, but she can be a little disrespectful, but the swinging neckbreaker results in a no count. But Charlotte slowing it down here with a neck with a head scissors here. Was that a neck lock? That's technically not inaccurate, but we got Charlotte just keeping this locked in, just slamming her down time and time again. But finally, Nikki able to get out of it, hammering away at the hamstrings. Now targeting them again. Now look at this, Bella Buster out of nowhere even. But wait a minute, Charlotte saying get the hell off me, and immediately pops right back up as she has Nikki on her shoulders. Look at this. Backpack stunner. I hear a man who liked to eat a lot used to do that move, but that's not important right now. Delayed pinfall and not even a 1 on Nikki Bella. As Nikki able to counter now, arm drag. Can she keep the advantage here? Keeping Charlotte on the ground is what she's doing, and now she's the one to slow it down. Slow it down. That's what she's doing, is slowing it down. But now here we go. Got her back on her feet. Charlotte shoves her away. Oh! She tried to run in. Got stopped with a knee to the gut. And now Nikki slowing it down again. This time with a surfboard stretch. Driving the knee into the spine again here. Just wrenching on it. Keeping it locked in. Keeping it hooked. Charlotte couldn't escape. But she's back on her feet. And Nikki with a forearm there knocks her into the corner, but Charlotte counters. Got Nikki in the corner, and she swings her out right onto the ropes for a neck breaker. Beautifully executed neck breaker from Charlotte there. But just like that, Nikki back on her feet and counters, targeting the arm again. But now got her, dragging her to the ropes. And a kick to the leg. And now just look at this, a slingshot suplex. Showing off a bit of the power to hold her up there for a little bit as well. But Charlotte blocks that. Nikki shoves her away. Then a big back elbow there. Nikki ran face first into her elbow. But able to counter with another arm drag. Moved out of the way. I can't speak right now, apparently, but here's a neck breaker again. Going back and forth here. We like to see that, that's for sure. Can Charlotte be the first woman to be invited to No Mercy and to earn a contract because of it, because of a win here in the tournament? Elbow to the face again after another head scissors. Nikki's had the counter for a lot of Charlotte's offense, and that continues here. But the clothesline got blocked. Or whatever she wanted got blocked. Oh, mistimed the elbow that time. And Nikki capitalized. No, she misses. Charlotte tried to catch her breath a little bit, but took a little too much time. Or maybe she was baiting her in there as they're going back and forth here in the corner. But now Charlotte in the corner. Nikki gonna send her to the opposite corner now. Will she be able to capitalize? She is, just driving the shoulder into the midsection and clubbing away at the spine again. Nikki looking good here. Just catching her breath, trying to wonder what she has to do to put Charlotte away. Charlotte was crawling to the ropes, but Nikki gonna keep her on the ground. Slamming the back of her head into the canvas. But Charlotte shoves her away again. But can't capitalize. But Charlotte able to counter again. Shoving her away again. But once again, Nikki just a little too quick. And look at this, just slamming her down. She trapped the arm in the leg and slammed her down. And now she's got her exactly where she wants her. Here we go. Look at this TKO. Beautifully done. Right into the pin. Got a 1. Got a 2. And Charlotte kicks out of the TKO. Charlotte causing Nikki to be in disbelief there. But she's trying not to let it phase her. As big clotheslines here. There's the calf kick. As Charlotte rolls to the floor to get a bit of a reprieve. But Nikki gonna follow her, not let her get too much of one, but Charlotte blocks. And gets Nikki right back inside the ring. And Charlotte gonna take her time to get back inside the ring, or she's gonna climb to the top rope. But Nikki's starting to recover. Charlotte thought against it and give her a swift kick in the ribs. That will do some damage, that's for sure. I think she wanted a spear and got blocked as there's a clothesline. But now Nikki measuring again. Measuring Charlotte again. As she's got her up. But Charlotte lands on her feet. But Nikki able to keep the advantage. Forearm takes her down. Got a 1, got a 2. Nikki may be getting a little desperate here. Driving the elbow into the shoulder blades right there. Not into the shoulder blades, but into the shoulder. Now just doing some push-ups. Perhaps signaling the end here. Will it be enough? Charlotte able to counter again. Caught the leg. Takes her down. A heel hook here. But that's a rope break. Charlotte, her head was clearly in the ropes. Referee made a good call, but snap suplex. Can Nikki capitalize? No, she cannot. As Charlotte back on her feet. Uppercut there. But forearm. Vicious forearm from Nikki. She misses the kick. Charlotte able to capitalize, getting Nikki in the corner. But blocks the chop. No woos tonight. Oh my... Nikki, what the hell? Charlotte wins, but Nikki just laid her out with brass knuckles. Nikki, what the hell? You just cost yourself a chance at the TV title. Nikki's out of the tournament. Charlotte wins the match, which means not only does she advance, but she gets a contract with No Mercy. But that's definitely not the end there, that's for sure. But now we've got the Fatal 4-Way. One of these men will finally get a win, and who is it? And it's Ricochet pinning Finn Balor in the match. Good for Ricochet. Now Carmella and Natalya. Carmella representing No Mercy. Natalya invited, who will also move on to the second round. And Natalya does. Natalya clearly making Carmella submit to the sharpshooter. And both Charlotte and Natalya move on to the next round. That's something, I'll tell you that. I mean, there's definitely more to the story of this one, and we'll figure that out. But now it's time for our main event, tag team action. A rematch from the Go Home No Mercy to Money in the Bank. Baron Corbin teaming up with Shinsuke Nakamura against John Cena and the champion Daniel Bryan. And you know what? I'm going to stay out of this one too. We'll see how this one goes. This match might go on for a while. I got that feeling. But we'll see. I am ready. Definitely want to see what else happens there, but here we go. Baron Corbin, the Lone Wolf, looked very good, but did not win. And he unfortunately was not in the final two. But Shinsuke Nakamura was able to lay him out with a Kinshasa to get his elimination, as he did with John Cena as well. But Corbin, he's here. He's feeling good. I mean, not too good about the loss last week, but, you know, he's still got plenty of momentum on his side, and he knows he is still well within contention for the world title at the moment. So we'll see where that leads. But his tag team partner has all the momentum in the world on his side right now. That's Shinsuke Nakamura, as we know. And Shinsuke, coming after tapping out to Daniel Bryan twice at Money in the Bank. He's rebounded by defeating John Cena twice now. Once the first No Mercy after Money in the Bank, and then last week in a Fatal 4-Way match. And of course, he got 2 of the 3 eliminations in that match as well. Looked very good, dominant. The Kinshasa proving to be one hell of a dominant, powerful finishing maneuver. And what can I say? Everyone is behind this man right now. He's the king of strong style. And he's looking good. And as a team, these two did in fact look good as well last month. But Baron ended up feeling the need to get himself disqualified, punching. I don't remember who off the top of my head, but he punched either John Cena or Daniel Bryan with brass knuckles in front of the referee. causing the team to lose. So there could also be some dissension amongst Nakamura and Corbin there. We'll see. But Cena, he's here. He's ready. Let him salute. And let him run down to the ring, throwing that towel away. He is sadly for him, not moving on to SummerSlam, the biggest party of the summer. But his teammate tonight, of course, the World Heavyweight Champion Daniel Bryan, is there. As we've already said so many times, facing Shinsuke Nakamura at the event. But could there be potentially a little bit of ring rust here for Bryan? Could there be? That is a question here. Because he hasn't exactly competed all too often here on No Mercy. He has not competed since winning the title at Money in the Bank. I don't think there will be any ring rust, but it is something to bring up. He has not competed in about a month, but we'll see. Regardless, though, that is your world champion who's feeling good, looking good, and can he team up with Cena and get another win? Or will Corbin and Nakamura right the potential wrong they faced last month? Cena tried to start off hot against Corbin, and instead Corbin slammed him down immediately as he's going to lift him up after catching the leg for that one-handed choke slam. Huge move there. Now he's slowing it down early in the match, keeping it slow. As he's got the upper hand. Oh, but Cena able to counter that backbreaker attempt with a knee to the skull. And now dragging Corbin to his own corner, but Corbin fighting out of the hold there. Getting out of the clutch of John Cena. Now he's just going to flip him inside out and nail him with that right hand, that vicious right hand, putting a lot of power behind the move. Now dragging him to the corner, tagging in Nakamura, who's able to keep Cena on the ground, not allow him to counter or crawl over to his partner. But Cena able to get up and counter with a drop toe hold, beautifully executed, as he's the one dragging Nakamura to the corner, and he's going to get the champion in. Daniel Bryan in, and he's immediately targeting the arm. Of course, we know his yes lock does a lot of damage to the arm, but he tried for a Frankensteiner, immediately got caught and slammed for an alley-oop by Shinsuke Nakamura, who's targeting the legs of Bryan. Targeting the legs of any opponent is a huge, very good strategy, but now he's got the legs all tied up, and he's going to slam the face into the canvas there. After how good Nakamura looked last week, we know he is battling through a minor injury right now. So that could come into play as well. We just got to hope for Nakamura's sake it doesn't get worse in here or at SummerSlam, or else he may not be able to fight. He may not be able to continue. But Bryan really working over that arm again. That is brutal. But here's a dragon sleeper. Nakamura's long legs near the ropes. But Bryan, he knew that. He just wanted to do what damage he could. As the rapid-fire curb stomps trying to cave the chest in. Nakamura able to break the eyes there. Blinding Bryan as he's got him up for a Liger Bomb. He held him up there for a little bit before hitting it. Not even a one, though, off the Liger Bomb. Bryan back up to his feet. And Corbin back in the match. Bryan just waiting for him. But gets dropped with a clothesline there. But Corbin taunting. But he's able to move out the way of the elbow. Corbin's looked good, too. We cannot underestimate that, but the champion moves out the way and drops him with a forearm. But there's a shoulder block. Corbin in control again. Oh, but got blocked with a knee. And there he goes to the floor. Clothesline to the floor, and he's going to get followed outside the ring there. As Bryan, got the roundhouse ducked by Corbin. But Bryan immediately takes the advantage right back, striking away again. Drops him to a knee. Bryan doing real good, doing numbers on him right now. Just making him pay with these strikes. Really peppering them in. But dragging him back to the apron where he slams him head first into it. And there's a Frankensteiner on the floor as well. Might have caught the steel steps as well. As Bryan slides back inside the ring. Corbin is dazed and confused on the outside. As Bryan going to get Big Match John back inside the ring. As Corbin back inside the ring. And he's immediately able to grab Cena. And he's dragging him to the corner. And here we go. We're going to get some tag team offense by Corbin and Nakamura. As a big right hand to the gut there. Oh, drop toe hold. Got Cena locked down on the middle rope. And I was just going to drive the knee into the back, which causes the throat to be pushed right up against that middle rope, choking him out. Nakamura blocks again, as now these two are on the outside once again. They spent so much time last week on the outside as Cena spiked Nakamura's head with the DDT on the floor. Referee trying to get him back inside the ring here. As Nakamura goes face first off the apron this time, just like Corbin did. But Cena striking away. He's got him up again. Just carrying him. And slams him on the top of the barricade. That will not hurt. That's not good for your ribs or your back. Referee trying to get him back in the ring. And Cena gets back in the ring this time. But he was too focused as Corbin breaks the count to throw Cena outside the ring. That's what Cena gets for paying too much attention to Nakamura and no attention to Corbin. But like I said, the count is broken. Cena goes gut first into the steel steps. That sure as hell is not going to feel good, let me tell you. But now Nakamura dragging Cena back to the ring, and he's going to throw him inside the ring there. Cena gets back up quickly. Nakamura in the ring, keeps the advantage. Here we go. He's got him. Inverted Exploder. Nakamura just picking up right where he left off last week. Big boot to the back of the neck, just so he can drop the knee right in the face. But he's going to get Corbin back inside the ring now. These two men working very well as a team. Some may be surprised by that, but Cena blocks Corbin there. But Corbin moved out of the way of the shoulder block there, the shoulder tackle. And here we go once again, choke breaker to John Cena. He knows how that feels. He got hit with plenty of those last week in the four-way. But Cena gets back up, shoulder block. Now look at this. Oh my God, he just tried to do the end of days. But Corbin, if anyone knows how to get out of that move, it's Baron Corbin, who just hit an overhead belly-to-belly there. But he's worn out. And Cena gets the tag to Bryan. And Bryan with a flying elbow. Corbin pops right back up as there's another one. And there's a third. 3 straight flying elbows by Bryan gets the job done here. Or maybe not. Corbin able to counter now, shove him down as he's trying to back up and get the tag. No, he's not able to tag out to Nakamura. As now Bryan got him into his corner. Big drop kick in the corner now. He's right back up. Full head of steam. Here's another one. Double drop kicks in the corner. Oh, but got taken down by Corbin. Corbin was able to counter, and now he's taking the turnbuckle pad off as the referee was too busy staring down at the prone body of Bryan. Not going to use it right now. But Bryan moved out of the way. And Corbin going to pay for his sins. Sitting right into the exposed turnbuckle by Bryan. But Corbin able to counter, sweeping off the legs again. Now just stomping away at the face. And now stomping away at the chest here. But now Bryan going to do the same to Corbin. Sweeping up the legs. Taking him down. And now, just like he did to Nakamura earlier, going to tie up this arm and stomp on it. A brutal move by Bryan. But Corbin able to counter. And just lays Bryan out right there in the middle of the ring. And he's going to go right. He's going to basically fall into the pin there, but not even a 1 on the world champ. But now, Corbin going to get Nakamura back inside the ring here. Big shot to the back. And he's measuring him. He's measuring Bryan, but the leg got caught. But now just going back and forth here. Bryan able to sidestep, kick at the back of the legs. But again, just going back and forth. Bryan shoved back into the corner, but hung out to dry. Hung out to dry. As Bryan now backing up. He's going to get Cena back in the ring now. And Cena's fired up here. Cena fired up. Oh, off the ropes. There's a shoulder tackle. Here we go. Cena looking for his 5 moves of doom. Here's the proto bomb. And we know what follows that. No, he doesn't go for the 5-knuckle shuffle. He's going to pay for it. He's going to pay for it. Nakamura able to counter, shove him away. And here we go. Here's another inverted exploder on John Cena. Nakamura fired up, feeling good. As pulling him into the middle of the ring here. Just driving these vicious knees into the top of the skull. Nakamura with all the momentum right now as he's measuring Cena again as the referee fixed that top turnbuckle. And here we go. Here's another kid shot. No! Drop toe hold counter. Now getting pulled into the middle of the ring. And Cena gonna put a boot right to the gut of Nakamura. Cena able to counter the Kinshasa this time. He couldn't last week. But now here's the attitude adjustment. Right into the pin here. But Corbin got back in quickly as the referee was too distracted. He never fixed the top turnbuckle, so he just got distracted by it. That's what was going on. And because of that, because of the distraction, Corbin was able to get inside the ring. The referee didn't even know. And Nakamura was saved. But now look at this. He's got him up. But Cena able to counter. Elbows to the side of the skull. And Cena follows up immediately with the code red. Doesn't stick for the pin though. And now trying to crawl to Corbin. Cena not letting it happen. Now big boot to the top of the skull. But you can't see me, but Nakamura, you're going to feel this 5-knuckle shuffle. But Cena, he's tired. Goes for the pin after the 5-knuckle shuffle. But Corbin's right there again to save his partner. Bryan, he's tired on the apron as well. But Cena keeping the advantage here. Nakamura able to counter though. But so is Cena. Forearm right to the skull. But Nakamura able to grab him. Here's a gourd buster. And Nakamura dragging him away from Bryan. He says forget it. Tags Corbin back in. Corbin the legal man now. Kicks away at the arm. And now he's the one measuring as the referee. Focus on that turnbuckle again. Here we go. End of days. End of days. Got a 1. Got a 2, and Bryan just there to make a save. As there's a big roundhouse by Bryan and Nakamura, laying him out. And Cena able to counter now. Able to counter Corbin. And here we go. Nakamura on the outside. Went for the attitude adjustment, but Corbin countered. Corbin able to counter again. And takes him down and slowing it down. Wrenching on that neck again. But Cena immediately getting back to his feet. Fighting out. And now getting Bryan back in the ring. No! Corbin sent back first in that top turnbuckle, or the exposed turnbuckle again. The referee keeps looking like he wants to fix it. Tries to, but then just doesn't. As Bryan distracting Corbin there, allowing Cena to keep the advantage. But Corbin was able to counter. He's got him. Going for the choke breaker again. No! Turned into a flatliner. And Cena, he's firmly got the upper hand right now. Thought about dragging Corbin away from the ropes instead. Just going to get Bryan, the champion, back into the match. And now going for the legs again here is Bryan. But now he's measuring. But Corbin able to counter, but so is Bryan. Oh, clothesline ducked. Bryan in position. Kicking away at the legs here. As Nakamura could have tagged himself in, he didn't, as Corbin goes back first to the exposed turnbuckle again. And Bryan, Nakamura distracting the referee, tried to step in. As Bryan, he was measuring. But once again, Corbin able to fight out, not let it happen. But these sorts of going back and forth. A huge slap there. And now Irish whip. Bryan gets shut down again by Corbin. But Bryan counters again. Corbin, dazed and confused, gets hit with a forearm. And Bryan keeps him on the ground. And once again, targeting the arm back to it. And continuing, just slamming the arm to the canvas there. And now targeting the arm with their arm bar. Got it fully extended here. But Corbin able to roll over and punch Bryan right in the mouth. Refusing to submit. But the leg was caught. Forearm blocked. But Bryan's kicks were just too fast for Corbin there. Stunned him. Knocks him to the ground. And he couldn't reach out for the tag. He was so close, but just couldn't do it. Stump puller. Leg snap. And Bryan's feeling good right now. Oh, but now look at this. Arm drag. Corbin got the upper hand here. Now he's got, no! Went for the choke breaker again, but this time got blocked with big boot. Bryan ran into the big boot. And Corbin going to use that opportunity to catch his breath and get Nakamura back inside the ring here. And Nakamura feeling good. Could you imagine the momentum Nakamura could have going into the pay-per-view this Sunday if he's able to pin the champion here tonight? But the knee got blocked. But Bryan was countered. Nakamura with the upper hand again. Back body drop. Bryan ran right into it. The kick to the back again. Just going completely back and forth here. No one's got a clear advantage. Let's be honest. But Nakamura with those kicks and the strikes. But Bryan able to counter. But the drop toe hold. Now Nakamura's going to choke out Bryan using that second rope just like he did Cena earlier. But he's tired. Bryan pulls himself up. The forearm there. Bryan up against the ropes. Now Bryan off the ropes again. Tried to get taken down. Nakamura tried to take him down with the legs. But Bryan just shoved him away. But Nakamura still with the upper hand here. And Bryan into Nakamura's own corner. And we're going to see some tag action. Look at that. Oh my god. A double backstabber. The athleticism from Corbin, though, to hop over the top rope like that, that's crazy. But the double backstabber, not enough. Bryan right back on his feet. And he went for a backdrop driver, and it got turned right into a crossbody from Corbin. Now he's measuring. Here we go. End of days to Bryan. End of days to the champion. But the referee's distracted because of Corbin's own mistake there. And that allows Cena to step in. But Nakamura got Cena up for the landslide. And the referee still hasn't put the turnbuckle back on. As Corbin was measuring Bryan again, but Bryan slipped out the back door, but not able to take advantage. As the referees finally got the turnbuckle pad back on. As Corbin clotheslines Bryan in the corner there. Now measuring. Can he hit it this time? No, he can't. Forearm by Bryan. And he takes out the legs. Now here we go. The yes kicks. Everyone in the arena shouting yes, yes, yes with every kick. And here comes the big knockout. And Bryan pulling him away from Nakamura's corner. Pulling him away from Nakamura, pulling him away from his own corner. Turns him over, hooks the leg, got a 1, got a 2. No! So close. A close near fall. But close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. As Corbin's got the advantage again. Feet on the ropes here. But not even a 1. Bryan showing the fighting spirit. As Nakamura handling Cena again. Oh, Nakamura getting a cheap shot here on Bryan with the gourd buster. And Corbin saying, hell yeah. Now keeping Bryan from getting the hot tag. But Bryan able to counter. But again, just going back and forth here. Someone's got to win eventually. That's for damn sure. But Corbin slowing it down again. He definitely could have won off the end of days if the referee wouldn't have been distracted by the exposed turnbuckle. But it was Corbin's own fault that the referee was distracted by that turnbuckle. But now Bryan in the corner. Cheap shot by Nakamura. But Corbin throws him into their own corner. And Cena tags himself in. That was a bad mistake. Or maybe Corbin wanted that as big right hand off the rebound. Tried to attack Bryan, but Bryan says, get the hell off me, and gets out of the ring. As Corbin now, he's a bit tired. You can tell he's a bit in disbelief here. What does he have to do to put away Bryan and Cena? But he's measuring Cena once again here. As he's got him. Oh, Cena counters. Able to flip out of the end of days just like Corbin did earlier when Cena tried to steal the move. But now Cena able to go right into a rear chin lock, slowing it down, trying to just recover stamina, trying to just do what he can to keep the advantage here. Big kick. And he's going to keep the pace of the match slow. But here we go. You can't see me. But Corbin, you're about to feel this 5-knuckle shuffle like Nakamura felt earlier. There it is. But Cena immediately gets countered by Corbin. Corbin back on his feet. Now Cena able to counter with the arm drag. And a big right hand drops Corbin right back to the floor. As there's Nakamura. Cena decided against staying or tagging out. He's staying in the match. But Nakamura slips out the back door there. But he pops right back up. Just constantly getting taken down here. And a single leg drop kick. And now Cena finally stays on the ground And now there's a big knee. And he sticks for the pin here. Got a 1. Got a 2. And Cena saying, you're not beating me like that. Not with that disrespectful ass pin. But just turns to Bryan and says, come on. But Bryan not going to be baited like that. But for the third time in that match, an inverted exploder. No! Cena able to counter it this time. You could say third time's the charm for Cena here. And now here's an attitude adjustment right into the pin. But Corbin in the ring. And he's able to break it up, make the save. But Bryan gonna make him pay for it. Slamming him down by the arm as these two men are also fighting. And they're the illegal men of the match. Going for it again here. Oh, look at this again. Another attitude adjustment. We saw this last week on the floor as Cena rolls through. Got him back on his shoulders. He wants the back-to-back AAs. And he nailed it. But not going for a pin here. Cena, why? Delayed pin. But is it still enough? Corbin distracted. But Nakamura kicks out anyway. You have to imagine if Cena went for the pin there, it would have been enough. But instead, that's 3 attitude adjustments back to back to back. And Nakamura has kicked out of them all. Oh, Bryan tried for a tiger suplex there. Didn't work. And here is a Kinshasa! Kinshasa! Corbin in the ring to make the save. But Bryan, the champion, kicks out anyway. Holy hell! What is going on here? Nakamura trying not to be upset, trying to keep the advantage over the champion. But what does he have to do here? He thought about tagging out. And he does. The former European champion is back in the ring now. They've looked really good, but they just can't put away Cena and Bryan. But Bryan got the arm locked up. But Corbin fighting out. Can Corbin keep the advantage? Yes, he can. Got Bryan in the corner, but Bryan able to counter. But Corbin able to counter, fighting out of the corner here. But there's a jawbreaker. And Bryan able to counter. And Corbin falls to the floor. Bryan tried to hop up, but instead Nakamura with a cheap shot, able to stun him. And Corbin, oh, Bryan lands on his feet. It hits the flying elbow again. Flying elbow once again. And he takes out the leg. Here's the yes kicks on Corbin again. The crowd is so happy. And here comes the big roundhouse. There we go. And Bryan's tired, but goes into the pin here. Got a 1, got a 2, but it's not enough. As there's the throwback from John Cena. Nakamura to the floor. And Bryan gonna target the arm once again. And if there was ever a time that Bryan was going to be able to put it away, it would be right now. But Corbin fighting him off again. But Bryan able to counter. Get him laid out on that second rope. As there's a drop kick to the arm. Huge move there. Now measuring him. And he's got him as Nakamura's recovered. But here's the yes lock. Yes lock crawling to the ropes, but he doesn't have enough in him. Corbin has to submit. And Bryan wins this match for him and Cena. And Nakamura, you see, he's furious. He's pissed. But there was nothing he could really do. Corbin tried to fight, tried to crawl, but so much had been taken out of him, he just had to tap to Bryan. Especially when Bryan is the submission specialist. And you never want to be locked in a submission by Bryan, that's for sure. But once again, 2 months in a row, we've had this match now, and the result has been the same. But these two men do finally get a definitive win over Nakamura and Corbin in tag action. So that's good for them for sure. But that gives Bryan all the momentum that he needs heading into the SummerSlam pay-per-view this Sunday. So that's absolutely huge. Good news for Bryan. And what a tag team match that was. Constantly back and forth. No one had a real clear advantage over the other. Everyone looked very good. But as we saw there, Charlotte earns a contract and moves on. But because Nikki got herself disqualified, punching Charlotte in the mouth with brass knuckles. So there's more to the story there, but Charlotte is in round 2 of the tournament. Ricochet, among these 4 men, finally gets his first win, and the others will have to look for a win elsewhere. Natalya defeating Carmella and earning herself a contract, as well as moving on to round 2 of the TV title tournament. And as we just saw, John Cena and Daniel Bryan win their tag team match in the main event. But that was the end of the go-home episode of No Mercy to SummerSlam. I'll see you for the next episode of Velocity, but until then, I'll see you later. Bye, guys.